Crisis doesn't start when the sirens wail. It starts minutes before, when people freeze, stores flood, and phones stop working. By then, it's too late. The only thing that buys you time is what you've already got at home. And today, I'm giving you the 20 survival essentials to lock in before the chaos hits. You miss these, you're gambling with comfort, safety, even your life. Subscribe now because we prepare before the panic. Every disaster has a warning. Sometimes it's a storm tracker. Sometimes it's a news headline. Sometimes it's just a feeling. But once the sirens go off, people shift into panic mode. Shelves clear. Gas stations swarm. Water disappears. And if you're not ready before that moment, you're already behind. These 20 essentials aren't just for preppers or survivalists. They're for anyone who wants to protect their family, stay sane under pressure, and ride out disaster like it's just another Tuesday. Let's break it down item by item. Unsexy but critical gear. Let's be honest, when most people prep, they chase the sexy stuff. Bug-out bags, tactical knives, night vision goggles. But in a real crisis, it's the boring, overlooked gear that saves your life. This is the quiet MVP list: 5 essentials nobody brags about, but everyone wishes they had when the sirens go off. 1. WaterBob Bathtub Water Storage Bladder. The moment an emergency alert hits, everyone rushes to buy bottled water. Problem is, those shelves are empty in minutes. Now imagine this. You walk into your bathroom, unroll a WaterBob, place it in your tub, and fill it using your still-functioning tap. In 20-30 minutes, you've got 100 gallons of clean, sealed water ready to go. No hauling, no hoarding, no fighting at Walmart. Just quiet confidence. It's genius because it buys you time, especially if the grid's about to shut down. Drinking, cooking, cleaning, even flushing toilets for a few days. All from one tub. And here's the kicker: it costs less than a dinner out. FEMA won't hand you one. But the second your neighbors see yours, they'll want one too. Too late. 2. Shelf-stable, ready-to-eat pouches. No water needed. Forget the 5-gallon buckets of rice and powdered chili. In a real emergency, you don't want to cook, you want to eat. This is where no prep, no water pouches shine. Think tuna kits, chicken salad with crackers, drinkable bone broth, peanut butter squeeze packs. They're light, last for years, and you can eat them cold while sitting in the dark. No stove, no water, no mess. And when stress is sky high, the last thing you want is to hover over a flame or boil water from your storage tank. These are the foods that keep your energy up and your head clear. Bonus, most are high in protein and low in junk, so you're not just surviving, you're staying sharp. 3. Rocket stove or DIY biofuel burner. Cooking with propane is great until you run out. Then what? That's where the rocket stove comes in. This tiny metal beast burns twigs, pine cones, even scrap paper. It's efficient, smokeless, and burns hot enough to boil water or cook meals fast. No fuel cans. No noise. Just good old-fashioned combustion. You can even build one from bricks, tin cans, or scrap metal. Takes 20 minutes if you're handy, and could save your meals when the gas is gone. The best part? It's silent. That matters when you don't want to broadcast your cooking smells to a hungry neighborhood. 4. Solar generator with hand crank backup. Power is the first thing to vanish in a disaster and the last thing to come back. Generators are great, but gas disappears fast, and it's loud. Solar? Silent. Renewable. Smart. A decent solar generator can run fans, charge phones, power radios, even keep a mini fridge running in cycles. But cloudy day? No problem. That's why you want a hybrid unit with a hand crank. Crank power isn't fun, but it's dependable. And when you need just enough juice to make a call or charge a flashlight, a few minutes of effort goes a long way. Remember, solar gives you hope. Crank gives you certainty. 5. Headlamps with red light mode. Flashlights are fine until your hands are full, or you drop them in the dark. Headlamps fix that. But here's the upgrade: red light mode. Why red light? It preserves your night vision. Lets you move around at night without blinding everyone or attracting attention from outside. Need to check on your kids? Walk the house perimeter? You don't need 500 lumens blasting off your forehead. You need calm, quiet control. Get a headlamp with multiple modes: white for tasks, red for stealth, and strobe for emergencies. Have one for every family member. Because when the power's out, even simple tasks become two-hand jobs. 6. No rinse body wash and shampoo caps. When the water stops flowing, so does hygiene. You'll last a day or two before things get real uncomfortable. 3 days in, you're sticky, smelly, greasy, and starting to feel more like a liability than a leader? No rinse body wash and shampoo caps are how you stay clean without touching a faucet. You just massage the cap over your hair, towel off, done. It's what hospitals and field medics use for patients with no access to showers. And let's be honest, clean isn't just about comfort. It's about morale. The mental clarity that comes from not feeling like you're decaying under your clothes. And in a confined space with family or neighbors, hygiene keeps tension low and dignity intact. 7. DIY luggable loo kit, 5-gallon bucket toilet setup. When your toilet doesn't flush, what's your plan? Because after 24 hours without plumbing, things get primal. And nothing escalates tension in a household faster than the smell of human waste with nowhere to go. That's why a DIY toilet kit is non-negotiable. All you need: a 5-gallon bucket, a snap-on toilet seat lid, contractor-grade trash bags, sawdust, cat litter, or even shredded paper for absorption. It's simple, scalable, and it keeps human waste contained and manageable. Tie off full bags. Dispose of safely when possible. No running water required. No foul odors taking over your shelter. People think they'll figure it out when the time comes. But I've seen it. Nothing breaks down faster than sanitation. Build the loo now. You'll thank yourself by day 2. 8. Reusable cloth wipes. Forget toilet paper. You won't have enough. And once it's gone, it's gone. Reusable cloth wipes, cut up t-shirts, baby cloths, or pre-made reusable kits are what actually get you through the long haul. Use them for hygiene, for your kids, for wounds, even for cleaning surfaces. Wash and reuse with a little soap and boiled water if needed. They're soft, durable, and unlike paper, they don't crumble when wet. In grid-down scenarios, they're currency. Not flashy, but absolutely critical. And here's the mental shift. Once you go reusable, you realize just how fragile our disposable systems really are. Wipes give you back control. 9. Electrolyte packets and oral rehydration salts. Water alone doesn't hydrate you, especially when you're sweating through a heat wave, under stress, or losing fluids through illness. What your body really needs are electrolytes. Keep a stash of powdered electrolyte packets. They weigh nothing, last forever, and can turn a cup of water into a life-saving rehydration tool. And if things get really bad, oral rehydration salts like the kind used by medics and global relief agencies are what treat dehydration and prevent collapse. This isn't just about sports drinks. It's about stopping cramps, stabilizing blood pressure, and keeping your brain from fogging out when you need it most. Have enough for every member of your household for a full week. Because when clean water is limited, every ounce needs to count. 10. Cooling towels and emergency mylar blankets. Temperature control isn't just comfort, it's survival. In a summer blackout, body heat builds fast. Fans won't run. AC is dead. A soaked cooling towel around your neck or forehead can lower your core body temp within minutes. It's like air conditioning, without the plug. Now flip that. Winter blackout. No heat. Your breath fogs in the living room. This is where mylar blankets shine. They reflect 90% of your body heat back to you. They're light, silent, waterproof, and fit in your pocket. Layer 2 or 3 in your bedding, and you've got an improvised thermal cocoon. They can also be used to line windows, insulate clothing, or signal for help. They're not glamorous, but when your body starts losing control of its temperature, they become non-negotiable. 11. Compact fire extinguisher or fire blanket. Most people prepping for disaster worry about looters, power outages, or empty shelves. But you know what takes down more homes during crises than crime? Accidental fires. A tipped-over candle, a makeshift stove, faulty solar wiring. One spark, and you've got an inferno with no fire department coming. A compact fire extinguisher is your first defense. Not the giant red ones from the office building. You want a smaller ABC type for home use. Keep one in the kitchen. Another near your backup cooking area. Don't like extinguishers? Go with a fire blanket. Smothers flames fast. No mess, no pressure gauge, and anyone can use it, even kids. Because the last thing you want in a blackout is to survive everything, only to lose your home to a candle. 12. Manual air pump. For inflatables, pressurization. Sounds random until you need it. A manual air pump can inflate sleeping pads, emergency rafts, water containers, or even act as a pressure source for makeshift water filters. It gives you versatility when the grid's down and lungs aren't enough. And here's a bonus use nobody talks about. You can rig it with tubing for emergency airflow to stoke fires, clear small spaces, or create a pressurized siphon system. In survival, air equals life. And this little tool is cheap, silent, and takes up almost no space. But when the moment comes, it's everything. 13. Work gloves and safety goggles. You think you won't need these until you do. Downed tree limbs, broken glass, nails. One injury to your hand or eye, and your entire survival game changes. Work gloves protect your grip when moving debris, fixing gear, or handling rough surfaces. Safety goggles are even more critical when cutting wood, burning fuel, or moving through damaged structures. Your hands and eyes are your tools. If they're out of commission, so are you. And no cheap gloves from the dollar bin won't cut it. Get reinforced palms, abrasion resistance, and a snug fit. Disasters don't wait for Band-Aids. 14. Heavy-duty contractor trash bags. Not your flimsy kitchen liners. We're talking 3 mil thick, tear-resistant contractor bags. They're survival Swiss Army knives. Use them for rain ponchos, ground cover, makeshift shelter, insulation, carrying supplies, waste control, water collection in a pinch. They fold flat, take no space, and solve problems you haven't even run into yet. Buy them in rolls, stash them everywhere. Because when things break, leak, or collapse, you'll need these before you ever need a flashlight. 15. Door stopper alarms. When law enforcement disappears, your locks become your lifeline. But what if someone kicks in your door while you're sleeping? That's where door stopper alarms come in. They wedge under the door like a traditional stopper. But if the door moves, they scream like a banshee. Low-tech, battery-powered. You can set one up in 5 seconds. Instant early warning system that buys you precious time to respond. Even in non-violent situations, it gives peace of mind. Because during blackouts, crime spikes. And if someone's trying to test your door quietly, this makes sure they don't succeed quietly. They're cheap. But in the dark, when things get real, they're priceless. 16. Old smartphone. Loaded with offline maps and survival PDFs, everyone tosses out their old phones. But in a disaster, that outdated brick becomes your digital survival brain if you prep it right. Wipe the phone, load it up with offline maps, GPS-based, no signal needed. First aid manuals, water purification charts, local shelter locations, survival guides, PDF versions of your emergency plans. Put it in airplane mode, crank the brightness down, and pair it with a power bank or solar charger. No SIM card? Doesn't matter. GPS still works. So does Wi-Fi, if you find a signal. This becomes your library, your planner, and your toolkit in one. People forget. When your brain is fried from stress, you won't remember how long to boil water or how to treat dehydration. This old phone will. 17. Bartering kit. Cigarettes, lighters, painkillers, mini liquor bottles. Money might not matter when the shelves are bare, but trade always will. That's why a bartering kit is like a backup wallet, only way more useful. What goes in? Lighters, indispensable. Cigarettes, even if you don't smoke. Mini liquor bottles for trading, sterilizing, or nerves. Over-the-counter meds, Tylenol, aspirin, allergy pills, coffee packets, sugar, even chewing gum. These are low cost now but high value in a grid-down barter economy. You're not prepping to gouge people. You're prepping so you're not the one begging. And if you ever need to make a deal fast to get food, help, or protection, this kit gives you leverage when others have none. 18. Whistle and signal mirror. When cell towers go down, shouting won't save you. That's where low-tech signaling comes in. A whistle cuts through wind, trees, and walls. You can signal for help, warn others, or coordinate across distance without draining batteries or losing your voice. Pair it with a signal mirror, yes, a literal mirror, and you can bounce sunlight for miles. Used properly, you can flag down planes, boats, or rescuers with nothing but daylight. They weigh almost nothing. But if you're ever stuck, stranded, or separated, they scream louder than your lungs ever could. 19. Faraday bag for electronics. If an EMP hits whether natural or man-made, every unprotected electronic device is toast. Car won't start. Phone won't power on. Comms equals dead. But a Faraday bag blocks that out. It's a signal-blocking pouch that shields your critical gear from electromagnetic pulses. Keep inside. Old phone. Radio. USB drive with documents. Power bank. Rechargeable batteries. You don't need to be a conspiracy theorist to understand this. Solar flares are real. So are military-grade EMPs. One pulse, and everything unprotected is gone. Faraday protection is like insurance. You hope you never need it. But if you do, you'll be really glad it's there. 20. Written, emergency scripts for family. Here's the one tool most people never even think about. And it might be the most important of all. Write out physical scripts for your family. Instructions. Reminders. Plans. Why? Because when chaos hits, people freeze. They forget. Panic. Fall apart. Scripts help them stay calm and move. Examples. If I'm not back in 15 minutes, go to X and wait. If we're separated, meet at location, at time. If I'm injured, hand this note to emergency personnel. Don't open the door. Don't use the phone. Do not panic. Keep it short, sharp, and clear. Print multiple copies. Laminate if you can. This isn't about being dramatic. It's about giving your people a path when fear fogs their brain. Because you won't always be the one calling the shots. But your voice, your plan, can still guide them. Every disaster has a moment of silence right before it strikes. No sirens. No warnings. Just stillness. And in that moment, you either have what you need or you don't. These 20 essentials? They're not for show. They're not for fear. They're for that exact window of time when everything is still normal. But you know it won't be for long. The store shelves will empty. The power will cut. The clock will start ticking. And while others scramble for flashlights and bottled water, you'll already be 10 steps ahead. That's the power of preparing before the sirens go off. Because the sirens don't save you. Your planning does. So here's what to do next. Subscribe if you want to turn panic into confidence. Drop a comment. What's one survival item you keep that nobody talks about? And share this video with someone you don't want to leave behind when the lights go out. We don't wait for crisis. We prepare before it knocks. Stay ready. Stay sharp. And I'll see you in the next one.